¿Me avisas? ¿Se escucha bien ahí? ¿O muy...? Ok. Muy buenas tardes, soy Jesús Aldana y hoy en el Instituto Colombiano de Antropología e Historia contamos con un invitado muy especial. Su nombre es Jung Young-Hwa, de la República de Corea. Él hace parte del National Research Institute of Maritime Cultural Heritage de este país. Ha venido adelantando múltiples investigaciones durante los últimos 20 años en el mar coreano occidental y cuenta con una trayectoria muy importante en distintos frentes interdisciplinares, interinstitucionales y la forma en la que desde la perspectiva internacional ha sido abordado, manejado, protegido y salvaguardado el patrimonio cultural marítimo y sumergido. Él es abogado, él es conservador y arqueólogo subacuático y ha desarrollado una serie de iniciativas vinculadas a la intervención de contextos arqueológicos, la recuperación de evidencias, y como tal nos va a presentar un poco la historia de la arqueología subacuática en Corea y todos los avances en términos legislativos, tecnológicos, metodológicos, interpretativos, analíticos, y cómo Corea ha estado a la vanguardia en este frente durante los últimos 20 años, divulgando su experiencia, su experticia en distintos eventos académicos de carácter internacional, y ahora nos acompaña el día de hoy en Colombia para hablarnos un poco de su experiencia el día de hoy en Bogotá, y la siguiente jornada va a ser una semana muy atareada en términos de ponencias y de conferencias para él. El día de mañana, en el marco del 6º Seminario Nacional de Patrimonio Cultural Marítimo, organizado por la Comisión Colombiana del Océano, que se desarrollará en la ciudad de Barranquilla, y también contará como esta sesión con una modalidad virtual, y el jueves en el tercer Festival de Historia Naval del Museo Naval del Caribe, en donde nos va a presentar las distintas perspectivas que tiene desde el ámbito coreano y su experticia, como mencionaba, en su ámbito local. Entonces, thank you so much, Jung, for being here. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to be able to speak in front of you today. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to present. I am Jung Young-Hwa, work for National Research Institute of Maritime Cultural Heritage in South Korea. The National Research Institute of Maritime Cultural Heritage will be called NRIMCH. I have been involved in the investigation, research, and conservation of underwater cultural heritage. I'm going to talk about two things today. The first thing is the history of underwater archaeology in Korea. The second thing is the policies for the protection of underwater cultural heritage about past and future. Korea is a country surrounded by water on three sides, has actively engaged in trade and exchange with neighboring countries by sea route since ancient times. Notably, the west and south coast of Korea were the living spaces of our ancient and important sea route for connecting Korea with neighboring countries. As with the Mediterranean Sea, which connected the three continents, Asia, Europe, and Africa, new cultural elements and goods were actively exchanged in the west and south of Korea, as numerous ships came and went across these seas. Sometimes these seas became the scene of major battles that determined a country's fate. The Korean peninsula is surrounded by water on three sides. Hence, most underwater cultural objects here are found on the seabed or in mudflat near the coast. From 1971 to 2022, a total of 358 efforts were filed related to the discovery of underwater cultural heritage objects, 7,000 relics, 271 reports from the West Sea, and 75 reports from the South Sea, and 12 reports from the East Sea. In Korea, it began with the underwater excavation of the Shinan shipwreck, which began in 1976. Since then, a total of 34 underwater excavations have taken place, with 14 shipwrecks and about 100,000 relics being excavated. These statistics do not include ship excavation and ships conducted on land. Of these shipwrecks, 12 are Korean ships, one from the United Shilla Kingdom period, 10 ships is from the Goryeo Dynasty period, and 1 ship is from the Joseon Dynasty. They have been founded in the West Sea along the west coast, which has long been a popular maritime route. In the 19th, fishermen continued to discover Saladun in the province of Sinan Country in Jeollanam-do. It was excavated from 1976 to 1984. The Sinan shipwreck was excavated with the support of the Korean Navy. The Sinan, the Sinan shipwreck was a ship from Ningbo. Just a moment. Sorry. Yeah, the Sinan shipwreck was excavated with the support of the Korean Navy. The Korean peninsula is surrounded by water. Just a moment. Yeah, the Sinan shipwreck was a ship from Ningbo of China to Hakata of Japan in 1323. This was confirmed by a wooden tag. Korean underwater archaeology began with the survey of the Sinan shipwreck in 1976. The second underwater excavation was conducted in the Shinchangni waters of Jeju Island. 12th century gold jewelry and Chinese porcelain have been excavated. It is a sea area that has been excavated again since 2018. The excavation of Wando shipwreck was begun after 2 divers fishermen proclaimed on the coast of Oduri, Wando, reported their discovery of post-Saladuns to the district prosecutor's office. A preliminary survey of the area revealed that more than 1,000 Saladun lay buried on the mud. The investigation team excavated the Goryeo Dynasty ship, 30,000 relics of Goryeo Saladun, etc. in 1983 and 1984. The stagnation of Korean underwater archaeology in the 1990s. The excavation of Sinan shipwreck heralded a brilliant opening in the Korean underwater archaeology. But sadly, once the investigation of the Sinan and Wando shipwrecks had been completed, there were no further excavation for over 10 years. In 1991 and 1992, the investigation team first excavated a hole buried in a mud flat in Korea. This was the Jindo shipwreck, which was built with large logs of champa wood. At the time of excavation, it was presumed to be a Chinese ship, but recent studies have estimated that it was made with Chinese ship manufacturing technology in Japan. National Maritime Museum in Mokpo, opened in 1994, established a system of conservation treatment for ancient ships while conducting preservation work on the Sinan and Wando shipwreck. Major leap forward of Korean underwater archaeology in the 2000s. From 2000 onward, Korean underwater archaeology made a huge strides in both the qualitative and quantitative aspect. Henceforth, the investigation team was able to conduct an annual survey profiler to lay the basis for underwater excavation and conducted a diving training program for its staff with the aim of acquiring the capacity to conduct underwater investigations by itself. In 2002, excavation of the Biando site in Gunsan began after fishermen reported his discovery of 234 Saladun balls while diving to find a lost dragonet boat catching contest. The NRMCH conducted a series of 5 underwater investigations in 2002 and 2003. The NRIMCH staff themselves dived into the water to identify the distribution pattern of the artifact and take photos of them. In winter 2003, when the excavation of the Beyond site was complete, the NRMCH began a new underwater excavation campaign at Shibidongpado Island in Gunsan. In Korea, underwater excavation have been carried out every year without interruption since 2003. In recent years, Korean underwater archaeology has succeeded in establishing a firm foothold for major growth in the future. An official division for underwater excavation was established at the NRIMCH in March 2007. The discovery of a saladun dish caught up in a fisherman's net along with a web-foot octopus of the coast of Daesam Island in May 2007 opened up new chapter in the history of Korean underwater archaeology. The full-scale excavation conducted from July produced great result, including the excavation of 25,000 Korean saladun, etc., and the hull of the Tian shipwreck, a saladun cargo vessel of the Korea dynasty. Since 2007, the Tian area has excavated some 35,000 relics, including ceramics and wooden texts from Korea and Joseon Dynasty shipwrecks, helping to accelerate the shift development of Korean underwater archaeology. In particular, an important thing is about 200 pieces of anchor stone were discovered in Mado and Jindo sites. It is estimated that 2 and 3 anchor stones were used per ship. Dozens of shipwrecks are expected to be buried. Ancient texts also record it as a dangerous sea area where many ships were wrecked due to strong currents. Beginning with the excavation of Tian shipwreck in 2007, and 4 shipwrecks were excavated in Mado Sea area, and a total of 5 shipwrecks were excavated. About 28,700 artifacts, 28,700 artifacts were also salvaged. A conservation center was built in 2011 and Maritime Museum in 2018 to preserve and exhibition the wooden ships and relics from here. Here is Tian shipwreck 2007 we start, and then Model 1 is Model 2, Model 3, and Model 4. And we excavated these 5 ships with wooden ship. Recently, 12th and 13th century Chinese porcelain, anchor stone, seal and seal box and coins were excavated in the Shinchangni waters of Jeju Island. This is an underwater excavation site in Jeju Island that has been investigated since 2018. It is a really fantastic environment. There was no place like this anywhere in Korea. For the first time in Korea, we were able to secure digital information through underwater photography and conduct 3D dimension mapping research. Ancient time capsule shipwreck. One shipwreck is filed with life in an era. Therefore, a shipwreck is also a time capsule of an era. It is unfortunate for those who sailed along with the ship, but now we can restore the history of that era through shipwrecks and relics. From 1976 to 2020, A total of 14 shipwrecks were excavated in Korea. 12 shipwrecks from the United Silla Kingdom, Korea, and Joseon Dynasty period, and 2 Chinese shipwrecks has been excavated. Most of excavated shipwrecks were mainly full-sailing cargo ship, but the model ship number 1, number 4 used to carry grain and other produce. The traditional Korean ship name is Hansan, was thus characterized by a flat bottom, wooden joint, and the absence of bulkhead. The reason why the traditional Korean ship has a flat bottom hull is closely related to the marine environment of Korea. Due to the large tidal range in the west and south seas in Korea, the bottom of the hull is put on seafloor during the ebb tide. The Korean traditional ship with its flat bottom could rest safely on the floor during this time. This clearly shows the wisdom of the ancients of the Koreans. This is model number 3 ship, length 12 meter, wide 8 meter. And then one door ship, and 달리도, 시부동파도, 안좌도선, 안좌도십, 대부도, 태안, smart number 1, smart number 2. It's almost this Korean ship is bottom flat shape. Numerous underwater excavations are conducted worldwide, and pottery is overwhelming in the number of relics. One factor is that porcelain are important to commodite. Another fact is the sea environment. Wood, iron, fiber, etc., when they sink into the sea, are easily broken down due to attack or corrosion of sea plant. However, porcelain do not cause damage even in the sea. That is why the main relic of many maritime museums around the world exhibiting underwater cultural heritage is porcelains. However, Korean artisans began to produce celadon from the 10th century, while in the 11th century the clan in Yonguni in Gangjin and Yonggeri in Gochang fired high-quality celadon wares. The 12th century saw the golden age of Korea celadon. Renowned for its jade green color and various types of vessel began to appear. While porcelain excavated from inland site provide information on the location of the production site, as well as firing method and dates. In particular, the stratigraphy of Klein laid with fragment of defective porcelains shows the chronological variance in porcelain styles. Porcelain excavated from underwater, however, show their process of circulation from producer to consumers. Moreover, as most porcelain excavated from the seafloor were unused items, covered with mud and silt, they were generally well-preserved objects. In addition to the porcelain load as cargo on the ship, porcelain used by sailors have also been frequently discovered. To date, Korea is the world's largest holder of the Chinese Yuan Dynasty celadon. It is because of the excavation of the Shinan shipwreck. Chinese celadon began to be produced in the 3rd century AD and enjoyed its golden age in the 9th and 10th century. But it now is changed. Chinese excavated this Yuan Dynasty's shipwreck site. It's more now. It's 200,000 relics is excavated in Saladin. During this period, the royal family and nobles of the Korea dynasty imported Saladin vessels from China. This letter on the floor of the pottery is a mark of the Chinese trading group. Before the invention of paper, people wrote letters and other documents on various materials, such as wood, ceramic, silk, and sheepskin. Of these materials, wood was most extensively used for a long time due to its widespread availability. The ancients of the Koreans also wrote letters on the surface of a processed wooden tag called mokkan in Korean. Wooden tags have been found in China and Japan as well as in Korea. In China, many bamboo slips were bound together in circles with thread to make books. Bamboo slips have also been found called jukchal in Korea, although no book of bound bamboo slip has been found. The wooden tag recorded the kind of cargo, quantity, shipping place, destination, reception, and shipment time. They offer critical clues to specifically figure out the historical features of the ship. The wooden tags are most important among artifacts. From model number 2, a Mabyang Saladun base with a wooden tag was found, and evidence from the wooden tag shows that Korean people called the Mabyang Saladun base is Jun, and that the base was used for storing sesame oil or honey. Before that, it was known only as a drink bottle or base. In the Korea period, coal was an item that could not be easily used. And then is an iron pot and then bronze spoon. There were a variety of salted fish and Korean miso sauce in the jar. In this various jar, its measurement is stories, is small and bigger. And then fish bones and miso sauce. Watching underwater archaeology team searching for forgotten treasures video in Korea.
Treasure number 1782. Celadon toad-shaped inkstone with paste-on-paste design. Treasure number 1783. Celadon prunus vase with inlaid chrysanthemum, peony, willow, heron, and bamboo design and bamboo strip. Treasure number 1784. Celadon prunus vase with incised lotus and branch design and bamboo strip. These are artifacts found in archaeological site of Tan Shipwreck and Mado Shipwreck number 2. Underwater archaeology is the archaeology which brings the life back to forgotten treasures underwater. There are people who jump into the ocean for the treasures underwater. Now, here we are to meet the world of underwater archaeology. Underwater Archaeology Team, searching for forgotten treasures. Located in Mokpo, the National Research Institute of Maritime Cultural Heritage is responsible for underwater archaeological excavation, conservation of the findings, and research projects of Korea. You can imagine the importance of National Research Institute of Maritime Cultural Heritage, as it is the one and only institution for underwater archaeological excavation, compared to the number of institutions conducting archaeological excavation on land. Underwater Archaeology Team of Korea performs the core tasks at National Research Institute of Maritime Cultural Heritage. Archaeological excavation of underwater cultural heritage first begins with exploration of the archaeological site. The high-tech equipment is applied, but a visual verification of the site in person is a must. Archaeological excavation only begins after the confirmation of the presence of relics. The types of the artifacts, their quantity, distribution pattern, and other data are examined beforehand. The findings are lifted onto the ship exclusive for underwater archaeology and then transferred to Conservation Laboratory at the Institute for Conservation and Restoration. Writing scholarly reports and publishing archaeological work are all core tasks of Underwater Archaeology Team. So, when did the history of Korean underwater archaeology first begin? The finding of Shinan shipwreck in 1976 opened the horizon of Korean underwater archaeology. The archaeological excavation of the trading vessel, which traveled between China and Japan, was the cornerstone of underwater archaeology of Korea. And it is internationally recognized as one of the greatest findings of underwater exploration. Since the excavation of Shinan shipwreck, the underwater archaeology of Korea was followed by the substantial development and growth. Wando shipwreck, found in 1983, was the first Korean Celadon transporting vessel from Goryeo Dynasty, and it represented the significant historical value. The project at Gogunsan Islands in early 2000s was the first independent excavation without the help of the National Navy Force. The project at Mado Sea area in Taean took a few years. During the project, 4 vessels of the Goryeo Dynasty and Joseon Dynasty, including a cargo vessel, were discovered, and it attracted great academic interest. The finding of Yeonghung-do shipwreck had historical significance, as it was the first vessel from unified Shilla dynasty. Since the Shinan shipwreck excavation, Underwater Archaeology Team has made every endeavor, and the team has discovered innumerable artifacts and features sleeping deep down the water. All the experiences gained during the projects enabled the establishment of distinctive research system and has possessed capability of working independently. As a result, we have managed to recover 14 shipwrecks and over 120,000 pieces of artifacts and introduce them to the world outside the water. Research technology for underwater cultural heritage is evolving along with the advancement of marine science technology. And the efforts made to achieve higher technological advancement is an ongoing process. Overcoming the tough underwater environment of Korea has always been a difficult task. Especially the pressure of working in the underwater environment with strong tidal current of the Western Sea, where the ancient shipwrecks are often found, were threatening yet unavoidable. The low visibility due to thick sediments risks the lives of the team from time to time, but it is a condition to overcome. The work has been challenging to every member in the team, but the pride they gain from making contribution to the history of underwater archaeology kept them going. Korea promotes diverse international exchanges with overseas institutions for advancement of research and development of underwater cultural heritage. National Research Institute of Maritime Cultural Heritage is enthusiastic about international exchanges, and we make visits or attend training programs globally. Furthermore, we are building our reputation by holding international symposiums. The Korean Peninsula is surrounded by seas on 3 sides, and we have great potential of growth in underwater archaeology. Therefore, considerable amount of investment are made to the field of underwater archaeology. Running a self-built research vessel with high-tech equipments, which is exclusive for underwater archaeology, is one good example. The advancing technology supports the researchers and divers to work under risky environments. The underwater archaeology of Korea is ready to take a step further, based on what has been accomplished so far. The Republic of Korea offers the new paradigm for cultural heritage research underwater and is willing to be part of underwater cultural heritage protection.
Policies for the protection of underwater cultural heritage passed until 2020 and future from 2021 to 2030, 10 years. Currently, there are Korean laws relating to cultural heritage. Currently, there are 12 laws related to cultural heritage, including the Cultural Heritage Protection Act enacted in 1962. Most of them were enacted in the 2000s. The Cultural Heritage Administration is authorized to manage administrative affairs pertaining to the nation's cultural heritage under these laws. Among them, laws related to underwater cultural heritage are the Cultural Heritage Protection Act and the Act on the Protection and Inspection of Buried Cultural Heritage, enacted in 2010, and the Special Act on the Preservation, Management, and Use of World Heritage, enacted in 2020. The enactment of special law on underwater cultural heritage investigation and research support is being promoted. It has been proposed by a member of the National Assembly and is currently under review. The Korean National University of Cultural Heritage is a special university established to nurture professionals in the field of cultural heritage. It consists of 7 departments and a graduate school, conservation, archaeology, etc. Currently, the Department of Archaeology has an introduction course to underwater archaeology. NRI-MCH is organization under the Cultural Heritage Administration. We first time in 1976 and 1948, Shinan Shipwreck excavation is starting. And first institution is 1981, Mokpo Conservation Center is open. And then 1990, the name changed into Mokpo Maritime Cultural Heritage Conservation Center. And then 1994, it organized into National Maritime Museum Institute. In 2007, the organized institute 2 division for 4 division. This 2 division is planning and management division and curator research division. So 4 division is planning and management division, underwater excavation division, and maritime heritage research division, and education and public division. And 2009, we organized into National Research Institute of Maritime Cultural Heritage, change institute name. And 2011, establishment of 10 underwater cultural heritage conservation center. And 2017, establishment of West Sea Cultural Heritage Division. And 2017, 10 National Maritime Museum open. 2021, establishment of Cultural Heritage Conservation and Collection Management Division. As of 2021, NRIMCH consists of 6 divisions. The Underwater Archaeology Division is in charge of conducting ground surface inspection, operating and managing underwater inspection equipment, carrying out research on the development of underwater inspection technology, and preserving the underwater cultural heritage. The Maritime Heritage Research Division deals with such matters as the reconstruction of ancient ships and research on maritime pulp culture. We work a total of 155 people are working at NRIMCH, including 74 government employees. We put full budget for excavation and conservation at underwater cultural heritage and research and exhibition at maritime cultural heritage. NRIMCH has an annual budget of approximately $10.3 million for the year 2021. The budget for 2022 total $90.8 million, and currently this year budget is about $10 million. The annual budget increasing every year, and it has almost doubled compared to 2016. 2016 is $5 million, then 2020 and 2023 is $10 million, it's double. And now NRIMCH has budget of $10 million per year. The main facility of NRIMCH include head office, museum, including the head office and maritime museum, and this maritime museum, and this construction is ancient ship. It's #1 conservation center in Mokpo. And the second, #2 conservation center in Taean. In #2, another maritime museum within Taean. My institute is 2 museum and 2 conservation center. Research and inspection of Korea's underwater cultural heritage began in 1976. The government policies and direction concerning the preservation of relics by type of materials, including excavated ancient ships and waterlogged wood and ceramics, have remained consistent over the past 40 years. Inland archaeologists played the leading role in the inspection of underwater cultural heritage until 2002. Underwater shipwrecks and relics were excavated with the help of the Korean Navy. In mid-2002, a team of excavation experts who had completed the diving training offered by the National Research Institute of Maritime Cultural Heritage, NRIMCH, began to get involved in underwater excavation. NRIMCH concentrated its effort on building the physical infrastructure necessary to inspect underwater cultural heritage sites from 2002 to 2013. As a result, the infrastructure has greatly improved with the addition of the 18-ton underwater exploration vessel, and name is Shimage, which was built in 2006. This vessel will be redesigned in next year and will built as a 100 tonnage class exploration vessel in 2026. The 219 tonnage underwater excavation vessel name is Nurian, built from 2010 to 2013. And other inspection equipment include side scan sonar, multi-beam echo sounder, magnetometer, ROV, scan sonar, and metal detector, and parametric subatom profiler, as well as the recruitment of 15 divers. And when an underwater excavation field work is complete, an underwater excavation report will be published in the following year. The Sea of Korea has low visibility and strong currents, low temperature. Visibility in West Sea and South Sea is less than 1 meter. The current speed goes up to 3 or 4 knots in most coastal area. Moreover, temperature in winter goes on 10 degrees C. In this environment, exploration of use of the optical camera and the diver is restricted. It's very dangerous and hard environment for human divers and conventional propeller-driven underwater vehicles such as ROV and AUVs. Underwater archaeological activity is very time-consuming and dangerous work. To solve this problem, NRIMCH has promoted 3 projects for the precise exploration of underwater cultural heritage. Since 2013, NRIMCH has focused on developing technologies for inspecting and excavating underwater cultural sites. Specifically, NRIMCH conducted a project to develop underwater excavation technology from 2013 to 2017 and has since patented the underwater metal detection system EMMADO-1 developed as a result of the project. In addition, NRIMCH has been carrying out a joint research project with the Korea Research Institute of Ships and Ocean Engineering since 2014 to develop underwater research technology using the underwater working robot, Crabster CR200. And another joint research project since 2015 with the Korea Institute of Geoscience and Mineral Resource to develop underwater exploration technology using a 3D dimension system of marine seismic exploration. And last year, an ASB development project for underwater cultural heritage exploration using autonomous navigation technology was launched. Ultimately, we want to provide the optimal survey equipment and exploration technology. First project, we used many exploration equipment for this project. I put all equipment that can be used in Korea. The exploration equipment used for the study was applied seabed topography and seabed and imaging research, seabed geological exploration, and geomagnetic exploration. Each piece of equipment was operated at variable frequencies to compare the data. The method of survey includes draft and side tow, rear tow, and point survey, and the speed of survey vessel for seabed geological exploration and geomagnetic exploration did not exceed 6 km per hour. Seabed topography and imaging research is multi-beam echo sounder, static sonar, and scanning sonar. And seabed geological exploration is parametric subatom profiler, chart, and dual frequency, and geomagnetic exploration is 2 kind of magnetometer. This site, seabed geological exploration is model number 3 wooden ship. This is wooden ship. This site is we find is wooden ship. A seabed geological exploration result and size at length 12 meter, wide 8 meter, height 2.5 meter. And then we can signal acoustic scattering error and acoustic blank layer. The transmission is lowered remarkably. And then this shape is site with blank layer. We developed new equipment for underwater cultural disease exploration. A slurry type underwater metal detection system, EM Model 1. EM Model 1 system construction, DGPS, laptop, and software, and EM Model 1 main module, and slurry type antenna coil. This equipment is very simple and uses rubber bolt to minimize electromagnetic noise and to operate the speed of the probe below 4 km/h. And then this DGPS, laptop position, a main module, and antenna coil. It's very simple. This we using EDM Model 1 was told on the seabed and anomalous signals were occupied near the iron pot and the bronze cannon. This iron pot and bronze cannon we detecting as but pottery. This pottery is not detecting. Second project, 3D seismic survey system called is EOS 3D-A. The KIGAM is Korea Institute of Geoscience and Mineral Resource has developed the 3D seismic survey system. This is drone image and 3D seismic survey system in towing image. Work process of portable 3D seismic survey system is manufacture and sensor installation and assemble and launch and acquisition. This ship we buried model number 4 wooden ship. Its buried depth is seabed is 3 meter. We is 3D rendering. 3D rendering using its parallel program. The third project, the CRISO is Korea Research Institute of Ships and Ocean Engineering, has developed the underwater working robot Crabster CR200 and CR6000. This is small size is CR200. Its max operating depth 200 meters. And this model is CR6000 and max operating depth 6,000 meters. It's in field test in Pacific region is 4,000 meters. It's finished its field test. We have main equipment on the Crabster. Acoustic camera and high resolution scanning sonar and multi-beam echo sounder and USBL, ADCP, and optical camera, etc. Crabster was equipped with a metal detector. This is metal detector to conduct an experiment to find metal artifacts on seabed. This is now is working. And seabed is working, and this we iron pot is detecting is such. And the left side is scanning sonar image. Radius is 40 meter, and right side is mosaic of acoustic camera image. Radius 12 meter. We have a more detailed image of fish trap and iron pot and trace of footprint. The acoustic camera was very useful for real-time image. Means iron pot and sometimes it's ceramic. Though we have many optical cameras on the crabster, but we could not have good images from them due to the turbid water in the area. However, we could get real-time image with the acoustic camera instead of optical camera. We confirm the effectiveness of the acoustic camera, and the divers are carrying out this acoustic camera and then covered in ceramics themselves and using it for the field surveys. And the last project, this is project is last year launched. Cultural Heritage Administration launched ASB development project for underwater cultural heritage exploration using autonomous navigation technology with an investment of €3 million over 4 years, and maybe $4 million over. And most ASB and USB is equipped with 1 or 2 devices, such as sighting sonar and multibeam echo sounder or magnetometer, but it is difficult to operate them simultaneously. But this equipment is developed to be able to operate several devices of equipment, such as parametric subatom profiler and EOS 3DA and multibeam echo sounder and magnetometer and metal detector at the same time. This we look is EOS 3DA system, this side, and then down is multibeam echo sounder, and then magnetometer and metal detector at the same time, and result. Establishment of policies for the protection of underwater cultural heritage. There are several ways to establish policies for the protection of underwater cultural heritage. First, a 5-year wage plan for preservation, management, utilization of cultural heritage. This 2017 to 2021, and last year 2022 to 26. This in accordance with the Cultural Heritage Protection Act. And the second, Cultural Heritage Future Policies Vision 2020 to 2040 is 20 years with make a 6 core strategies. And then third, NRMCH magnitude annual and 3-year institutional operation plan 2021 to 2024. And then first, last year, NRMCH mid to long-term development plan 2021 to 2030, a 10 years plan. All of these plans should include the duration and budget of the policy to be pursued. Just a moment. Yeah. And our future is strengthens capacity for the protection of underwater cultural heritage in the Asia-Pacific region. NRMCH aim to nurture underwater archaeology in Korea and to nurture export through cooperation with countries in the Asia-Pacific region. The construction of the underwater archaeology education and training center, we plan is 2024 to 2029. Our budget is $85 million, land area 70,000 square meter, lot area 19,000 square meter. is possibility have a diving pool 5 meter and depth is 5 meter and 10 meter, and underwater archaeology center and conservation center, and international cooperation center, and accommodation is 100 or 200 persons accommodation, and maritime museum, etc. And then strengthening is international cooperation in the Asia Pacific region. This year, November, hosting of the 5th Asia Pacific Regional Conference on Underwater Cultural Heritage. This November is now we participate is close to 200 persons participating, but it's now is 150 person is join conference. And held the 9th or 10th ICUBA, International Congress for Underwater Archaeology. I will try and hope that it will be held in Korea so that many colleagues can attend. All these projects are included in NRIMCH with through long-term plans. Every year, Korea strives to develop and implement new policies for the protection of underwater cultural heritage. We hope this will be a time to compare the strengths and weaknesses of policies and share information. Thank you for your attention. Muchas gracias.
Dear Jung, thank you so much for your presentation, for your fantastic presentation. It's awesome all the works and initiatives that you're carrying out in Korea. So thank you so much. We will be opening for some questions for the public. But if in first place, I'm going to I ask you something that we have on YouTube, on the online broadcast, which did come from Catarina Garcia, an archaeologist and historian from the Universidad Nova de Lisboa, who is now in Colombia, in Santa Marta, carrying out a fantastic investigation. And she said that it is a fantastic work, and congratulations for all your efforts in Korea. And she's asking, I'm going to put you here the question, if your projects have mostly been research or also safeguarding. How do you feel with the need to minimize the urban impacts of construction or dredging in archaeological sites? More or less all these in the different divisions of the Institute, in the 5, 6 divisions, how you're carrying out these safeguarding initiatives when it comes to urban activities.
In Korea, our institute is covered in West Sea, in South Sea, and East Sea. It's all coast covered in archaeological and humanity side is all covered. But it is we now is focusing in West and South Sea.
I don't know if there is any question here, maybe to ask Jung, or we can go and keep. Yeah, go ahead.
Gracias. Es una consulta como con doble pregunta. La primera es si trabajan, porque no lo vi muy claramente en la presentación, si trabajan de pronto con comunidades locales, pescadores, navegantes y demás, para identificar los sitios arqueológicos, pues el montón en los que veo que están trabajando. Uno, y si tienen un repositorio nacional de información, o digamos como si se expone al público o no esa clase de información.
So it's kind of two questions. In first place, Andres is asking if you in Korea work with local communities, with shipbuilders or fishermen who are in contact every day with this archaeological context, which is quite a lot right there in Korea. The first part is if you work with that kind of communities.
Our institute is promoted in local government or fishermen. It's all promoted is we support other paid, we compensation paid, with covered, is covered in government. Yeah.
And the second part of the question is, because you have a ton of information with archaeological sites involved, if you have a repositorium or like a database of everything that you gather through all the years through archaeological investigations and so.
Yeah, in Korea, is cultural heritage administration is developed is a GIS system. As land archaeology site and underwater archaeology site is all database is developed and opened in public.
No, hey.
Me toca en español.
¿Sí?
Sí.
¿Español?
En la presentación se mostraba un desarrollo grande de los trabajos de arqueología subacuática hacia la costa occidental de Corea. ¿Qué pasa hacia la costa oriental? ¿Es algún tema político, sabiendo que ya encaja con el mar de Japón, creo que se llama? ¿O por qué a esa costa oriental no hay tanto desarrollo de programas de arqueología?
As you show us through your whole presentation, most of the investigations and more of the archaeological context are related to the west side of Korea, right, to the West Sea. So he's asking what are the causes, because of the East Sea and the east part of Korea, there are no archaeological investigation. If it's related with some political conflicts with other countries, with the Japanese Sea, maybe. So he's asking.
No, we say it's East Sea, and in Japan it's Japan Sea. It's about East Sea is very deep and 2,000 meters. And this coast is some is shallow, while is some 40 and 50 meters, but is we not found is archaeological sites.
En español. Bueno, es sobre los tipos de contexto. Usualmente los que se pudieron evidenciar están asociados a naufragios, pero que, bueno, sí han podido excavar o han encontrado otro tipo de contextos subacuáticos dentro de los proyectos.
So Juan is asking if, because you show us that a lot of the archaeological sites related to underwater cultural heritage that you worked through all these years are related with shipwrecks. So he's asking if maybe there are other type of sites related with perhaps harbors or civil infrastructure or military constructions that you found underwater.
It's coast area in west and south. Is some is naval or port site. It's but is land archaeology covered coast area. Is our institute covered in only on the water side. Yeah.
Hi, I could do it in English if you want. I want to know what are the challenges of today's with all the things that you have done, because it's incredible that you're doing like a training center of underwater archaeology right now. So with climate change, what are your challenges in underwater archaeology in Korea?
Climate change. Yeah. Is in Korea is now developed in project in land side. Is climate change is we found and develop project. What not at in underwater archaeology site is we found this object on find with topic is discussion is many people.
Okay. And I have another question. You talk about, well, I saw in the video about independent research system. How do they finance, get the foundation about their projects? Because you,
Yeah,
it is a shame.
Today is not explained is system. Is Korea underwater archaeology institution is 8 institution is ground surface institution. Is don't excavate underwater archaeology. And one institution, my institution is only one, is all covered in underwater archaeology, underwater excavation. It's all budget is government. Yeah.
And another thing, you're doing an education and training center that is looking for, I see like 100 and 200 person.
Yeah.
I want to know, like in Korea, how many people dedicate to underwater archaeology?
This accommodation plan is our education program is and children. And children, elementary school, middle school, high school, and university student, and public people is all people is education. Yeah.
Thank you.
So we have one final question online in YouTube as well. Katarina Garcia is asking as well, do you have sites visitable by underwater tourism? How society deal with this heritage? Here it is. My presentation explain is Korean waters is very low visibility and very strong current. We make tourism nothing. And we excavated all underwater archaeological site. We excavated all artifacts excavated in service. It's only now is 2 ships. It's model number 3 and model number 4. And 2 ships reburied in site. But you can see it's buried. Well, Jung, once again, thank you so much for your presentation, for your time, for coming here to Bogota and to Colombia to share about your experience. So I think that will be it for today. So tomorrow we wait to hear you as well online through the seminario and the festival in Barranquilla, en Cartagena. So once again, thank you so much. Muchísimas gracias por las preguntas, por la atención, a Catarina por las preguntas virtuales y a todos por venir y por estar presentes.
Muchas gracias.